Let me start with a difficult truth. Hurting someone you care about doesn't make you a terrible person, but refusing to grow from it does. Every relationship at some point faces a moment where words were said too quickly, actions were careless, or attention was given too late. And when that happens, many people try to fix the damage with one simple sentence: I'm sorry. But here's the lesson life eventually teaches all of us: an apology opens the door, but change is what walks through it. If you have hurt her before, the real question is not how many times you apologize. The real question is whether your behavior tells a different story from that moment forward. Trust is like a mirror. Once it cracks, you cannot pretend the crack isn't there. But with patience, consistency, and honesty, you can rebuild the reflection. The first step is responsibility, not excuses, not explanations that shift the blame. Just the quiet strength to say, I was wrong and I'm committed to doing better. The second step is consistency. Anyone can be thoughtful for a day or two. Character shows up when that effort becomes a habit, when your actions slowly prove that the lesson was learned. And the third step is patience. When someone has been hurt, their heart moves carefully. They need time to believe again. You cannot rush that process. You can only show, through steady actions, that the person standing before them today is wiser than the one who caused the pain yesterday. Because the truth is, relationships are not built on perfection. They are built on growth. And sometimes the most powerful proof of love is not that you never made a mistake, but that you became a better person because of it. Mistakes are part of every human relationship. No one moves through life without saying something they regret or making a decision that unintentionally hurts someone they care about. What separates emotional maturity from immaturity is not the absence of mistakes, but the willingness to face them honestly. Accountability begins when a person stops searching for excuses and starts looking inward. It requires the courage to admit that a choice, a word, or a moment of carelessness caused pain. Many people try to protect their pride by explaining their intentions or by shifting the focus towards circumstances. But real healing does not begin with explanations. It begins with acknowledgement. When someone takes responsibility, they send a powerful message. They show that the relationship matters more than their ego. They demonstrate that they are capable of reflection and growth rather than denial. This kind of honesty creates the first bridge toward rebuilding trust because it shows that the person understands the impact of their actions. Accountability also encourages personal growth. When individuals pause to examine their behavior, they gain valuable insight into their own habits, reactions, and emotional patterns. This awareness becomes the foundation for change. Instead of repeating the same mistakes, they begin to act with greater thoughtfulness and intention. Choosing accountability is not a sign of weakness. In reality, it is one of the strongest decisions a person can make. It requires humility, patience, and the determination to become better than the version of yourself who caused the hurt. When someone embraces this mindset, they not only create the possibility for healing in the relationship, but they also take an important step toward becoming a more responsible and compassionate individual. Trust is not restored through promises alone. It is rebuilt through consistent behavior that proves a person has truly learned from the past. When someone has been hurt, they often listen less to what is said and pay closer attention to what is done. Actions begin to carry more weight than words, and consistency plays a critical role in this process. Anyone can promise change in an emotional moment, but genuine transformation is revealed through daily choices. When a person begins to communicate with honesty, show respect in small moments, and follow through on commitments, they slowly create evidence that their intentions are sincere. These steady actions begin to replace doubt with reassurance. Patience is equally important. Emotional wounds do not heal immediately, and trust cannot be rushed. The person who was hurt may need time to process their feelings and regain a sense of security. During this period, the most meaningful response is calm understanding rather than frustration. Patience shows that the effort to rebuild the relationship is not temporary, but rooted in genuine care. Consistency also reflects reliability. When a person's words align with their actions over time, it creates a sense of stability. This stability helps rebuild confidence in the relationship because it shows that the positive changes are not just reactions to a difficult moment, but part of a deeper commitment to growth. Through repeated acts of honesty, respect, and patience, trust begins to return. These actions may seem small individually, but together, they form the foundation of healing. Over time, consistent effort can transform doubt into belief and help rebuild the emotional connection that once felt broken. When accountability and consistent action come together, real healing becomes possible. Accepting responsibility shows maturity and respect for the other person's feelings, while steady actions demonstrate that the lesson has truly been learned. Together, they create the foundation for rebuilding trust that may have been damaged. Relationships are not strengthened by perfection, but by the willingness to grow. When someone acknowledges their mistakes, reflects on their behavior, and commits to becoming better, they transform a painful moment into an opportunity for personal development. This process requires humility, patience, and genuine effort. Over time, consistent honesty, respect, and understanding can restore the sense of security that once existed. Trust may take time to return, but when actions repeatedly reflect sincerity and care, doubts slowly begin to fade. What once felt broken can gradually be replaced with renewed confidence and deeper understanding. In the end, the most meaningful proof of change is not found in promises, but in daily behavior. When individuals take responsibility for their actions and consistently demonstrate growth, they not only repair relationships, but also become stronger, wiser, and more compassionate versions of themselves.